back to slope guy. So he looks on the positive side and his line goes up. Sometimes he sees the negative things happen. He has a big nose that is undefined, and he always likes to keep his face at one expression because he doesn't want people to know what he's thinking. So what this tells us is if it goes up, it's positive, down, it's negative. Vertical is undefined, and horizontal is 0. So you've got two tools here to help you remember the positive and negative slope. When you hear slope, you should think rise over run. So rise is going to be your up or down, and run, we always go to the right. Okay. And then aka, if you want to get the fancy math language in here, it is change in y over change in x. And that kind of makes sense if you think about it because your y-axis is vertical and your x-axis is horizontal. So it's always your change in y over your change in x. Alrighty, so whenever you are trying to find your slope, you're going to mark some points on the line. You start with the left point, then you're going to count up or down. Up is always going to be positive, down is always going to be negative. And then you find the run when you always go right. So putting that into practice, we're going to start with this point, so our left point. Here's our second point that we're going to. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3. So our rise is 3. Our run is 1, 2. Because we went up, it's positive. So that's our slope. And remember, slope is in. Now we're going to do this one. We start with our left. We go up 1, 2. We go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So your slope is 2 over 4. And that fraction can actually be simplified to 1/2. Both of these answers are good. Our last one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went down 6, so that's going to be a -6. And then right 2. And that also simplifies to -3. Alright, I'm going to do some examples with you. We have to introduce our y-intercept to do this example. So this is our y-intercept. So B is the y-intercept. And what that means, it's where it hits the y-axis. So it's like right there. That's your y-intercept. And at the coordinate point, it would look like that. So this is your y-intercept right there. So if I'm looking, this is my y-axis. So this guy is going to be my y-intercept. That coordinate point is 0, -2, so my y-intercept is -2. My slope I'm just going to do like normal, so up 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4, so my slope is 1/4. Here's our other line. If you notice, this doesn't hit the y-axis at all, so we do not have a y-intercept. Because it is a vertical line, the slope is undefined. Our next one, our y-intercept is here. Since it's not exactly on a cross, we're going to have to estimate. So I'm going to estimate that. It's 1, 2, this is 3. So I'm going to guess about -2.9. So you have to guess on that one because it's not exactly on the cross. And then our slope is 1, 2. I went down 2, so -2. And then right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, our next one, our y-intercept is right here. That point is 0, -1, so our y-intercept is -1. Notice how it doesn't have any points here, so you're going to have to find some. I know I have one right here because it's on this crisscross, so I have to find another point on this crisscross. So I'm looking, and I finally found one on the crisscross. It has to be on the crisscross. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, so -3. Right 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, number 5. My crisscross is right here, so my y-intercept is 1 because that's 0, 1. I need to find another crisscross, so I'm going to see how far it is from here to here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's 4 over 1. 4 divided by 1 also simplifies down to 4, so both of these answers are correct. Then our last one, here's our y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, so it's 3. And then again, I'm trying to find another point. It looks like I've got a ton here. So I'm going down 1, right 1, so my slope is negative 1 over 1. That simplifies to negative 1. Okay, you're going to pause the video and do these 6 questions. So pause it and do these 6 questions. I'm going to go ahead and do the answers really quick so you can check yourself. So pause it and do the questions and then check yourself. Alright, I am going to talk about this last one. This last one, it starts at 30. If you notice your y-axis right here, it is going up by 5. So we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So when I go up 1 here, I'm actually going up 5, and then I'm going right 1, because my x-axis goes by 1s. So right 5, up 5, right 1. So my slope is 5 over 1, or 5. This is the 8th grade question. The rest of these are just review. So if you have questions over this, please raise your hand and get the help. Moving along to our next lesson. So we're going to plot a line that starts at the origin. So if you remember, this is our origin and has a slope of negative 3. Now this slope, we can't really do anything with because it doesn't have 2 numbers. So we have to turn it into a fraction. So negative 3 as a fraction is negative 3 over 1. So that's telling us we're going to go down 3, right 1. You're going to want to get a straight edge or something to connect these because you want to make sure you have a straight line that goes the entire length of the paper. And that's our first line. It says to label it A, so I'm going to just write on here line A. Our next one, it says plot a line that starts at 0, 4, so I'm going to go 0, 4. And then it has a slope of negative 3/4. So down 3, right 4. And then again, you want to get that straight edge so you can get a nice line. Now, there are some things we can notice about these lines. We can notice that they're both negative lines, so that's something we could do to compare them. They're both negative. They have both negative slope. Contrast them, you can say this one's steeper than this one. It goes down straight and faster than this one. If this was a roller coaster, you go super fast. Alright, you're going to do this one. Pause the video, do it, and I'm going to quickly write up the answer here. Now, I notice here that if I go up 1, right 4, I can't actually do it because I'm out of space. So what I'm going to actually have to do here is do the opposite of going up 1, right 4, which is going to be going down 1, left 4. And that opposite is going to give me the rest of my line. Sometimes you have to go backwards. This point right here where they cross, that point is actually called my intersection. So these two lines, line A and line B, intersect at -2, -4. So that's an intersection point. Alright, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can go through these fractions really quick.